We have a massive problem in the world: divorce. Over the past 40 years, the number of people breaking up has more than doubled. It has spiked to over 70%. Cited reasons for divorce are ill-considered hasty marriage, marriage of convenience, adultery, sexual frustration, incompatibility of character, psychological and practical unpreparedness for family life, alcoholism. There's a slew of other reasons. What's your take on it? Why does it happen? A modern-day person can't stand being with another on a regular basis. Simply can't. Why? Simply because he's a big egoist. His ego has grown tremendously and continues to grow still. We're going through an egoistic evolution, and hence cannot stand another person by us. How much longer can one put up with that? What for? And so on. It's best to just part ways, or live as though they're not a couple at all. It's tough to part ways, so then they calculate for personal gain. But still, strong marriages do exist. I, for one, have been married for 38 years. You're approaching your golden anniversary. True, but how do I live? I live between my wife, my kids, and my group. Such a life is also abnormal. I'm not a good example, for sure. Especially with my natural inclinations, it's awful. But divorce? It never crossed my mind. I never thought that I could divorce and leave my wife and kids. I bought an apartment and registered it under her. It's under her only, not me. I own nothing whatsoever. I'm serious. With kids too. I ensured that each would get an education. Yeah, an education, a home and the like. To marry them off, for sure, and for them to let me focus on my work. All the basics. If you have children, you must take care of them. After all, they're most important. And it's a tragedy, right? Of course. A child feels if he has no dad, no mom. A child suffers from a parent's absence, regardless if it's mom or dad. More so without a mom, of course, but still, without a dad too. It leaves a mark. It's never forgiven. Children consider a father's departure as a betrayal, a divorce with them. And they never forget this fact. They can't forget it. They feel that my dad left me. And of course, it's very tough. But what if love is lost? What love? Well, they say love has passed and justify it this way. I don't understand this expression. I only know one thing. If a couple lives together, if they have a normal upbringing, if these are people that you can more or less talk to, they can create comfortable conditions. Not that they're happy together. They're not. No, but it's convenient for them to be together. So they create a union of convenience of sorts. Of course. But what is a primary point of marriage? Shared household. A shared household. It's when you see you can support each other, help each other, and thus find satisfaction. That's primary. And everything else, if you're referring to sex, it changes with age. These days we live 5 times longer than they did 200 years ago, or even 1,000 years ago. A pharaoh lived for 20 to 22 years. A pharaoh. Keep in mind, he was served on silver platters with everything rinsed and clean. All products were ecologically pure. But he lived for only 22 years. It's even hard to imagine. What's 22 years nowadays? You're not even an adult yet. One more aspect I wanted to touch upon with you. Let's suppose a couple is married and don't want to get divorced. What roles should a woman and a man play in such a union? There ought to be education, such that whatever may happen throughout their lives, thousands of possible states, adventures even, with each of the spouses, one knows that he has a family and must support it, attend to it, and care for it for the whole duration of his life. That's before all else. And feelings are... what feelings? You can't build upon them at all. You often said that a man looks for his mother in a woman. That's true. Truly so? Yeah. A man seeks something of his mother in a woman, and if he finds it, it ensures his attachment to her. That is, if a woman understands that he's trying to find his mom in the union, then the union is complete. Yeah? It also says so in the Torah, that brides were brought into a mother's home or tent, and a bride lived there. And after living with her mother-in-law, he would marry her. That is, she learned from his mother how to serve him, what his likes and dislikes are, how his mom cooks, and so on. She would watch and learn, meaning she learned how to be a mother for her husband. Of course. This is, of course, a paradox. How so? Well, she came not to learn how to be a wife, but how to be a mother. You can't imagine how a man becomes attached to a woman in that case. If only she resembled his mother. You won't believe. He would then look at her as a child. He would always love this mom in her, and would never want a divorce. Never would divorce to leave his mom. You never leave your mom. Yeah? And how about this phrase from a wife that says, "Go to your mommy. I'm not your mom. Let her bake pies for you." So you see the arguments they bring. I'm not your mother. That's the problem. This accounts for a high percentage of divorces, that she doesn't assume this function of being a mom. She has to understand that this is the only way she can keep him, that he won't run away, make him hers. It's also written in the Torah and the Bible, black on white. So maybe you're telling us now the secret cause of all divorces and we no longer need any psychologists. This is the key to all proper relationships. Until the end of his life, a man will see his mother and his wife and will not run away from her. And what is a man then in the family? If he sticks to her, what else is needed? So this is her security. Yeah? She's looking for the security in him. Nothing else. He'll do everything to make her feel good. He'll give her compliments daily. And he'll earn money, right, and go to work. He'll do everything, of course. I know this for sure. This is the nature of man. What does a woman need from a man? Just this sense of security? Only personal attention, first and foremost. Personal attention to her, to the children, to the home. Meaning, you're getting married? That's it. A bride goes to her mother-in-law, and there she learns about all of her son's weaknesses. Interesting. Yeah, and learns how to work on him as a woman. How to serve him with something, do something that will remind him of his mom. He's bought with that immediately, instantly, and forever. And then he'll do everything she wants. Yeah? He needs it. A man doesn't give birth. He remains a child, and therefore this attracts him. So he remains a child even in his 70s and 80s. Doesn't matter. Well, the viewers, they'll be curious to know, what exactly is a man's function? A man must bring whatever a woman demands, and nothing else is necessary. That's in corporeality, but in spirituality, it's different. That's interesting. There, it's the complete opposite, meaning the family has no say in his spiritual development. You can call it a privilege, prerogative, I don't know how to call it, but this is his personal choice. In this, he's the man and the head of his household, but only in relation to spiritual development, and in relation to corporeality, it's all her domain. So, in spirituality, a man rules over spiritual development and a woman over the corporeal one. So if a man rules over spiritual development, then a woman's role is to give him the opportunity to work on his soul, and he'll provide her with everything she needs. Twofold.